Hi guys, back with another video, back in my son's room. Just a quick video on this book of studies that I just finished. Kafka, a collection of critical essays. It was awesome. As a Kafka neophyte, I found it really helpful. It helped to articulate some of the ideas, some of the impressions I've been forming about Kafka, and confirm certain suspicions I had or certain beliefs I had about Kafka's writings, about the meaning of, for instance, the trial, and also expanded my thinking in other ways, and it definitely helped to contextualize Kafka in the setting of scholarship in the 20th century. There were many great essays in here. Some of them are redundant. Okay, so it's about, I don't know, 12, I'm just guessing, maybe 12 essays in here. And some of them are a little redundant and repetitive, but they're all helpful in that sense, is that maybe offer slightly different views of a similar topic. And some are remarkable and sort of stand out by themselves. One of them I liked the best was Edmund Wilson's A Dissenting Opinion on Kafka. And there were other good essays, like really standout ones from famous authors, like ones by Camus, which is it's probably the most difficult one to read, and it's called Hope and the Absurd in the World of Franz Kafka. Now, I don't 100% agree with Camus, but his essay is definitely interesting, provocative, and it's difficult. It definitely would require a second read from me to really, unlike many of the other essays, it's the most challenging. And then there's one by Martin Buber. Buber is a very famous 20th century Jewish theologian, probably the most prominent, and he writes on Kafka and Judaism, which isn't really the best title, but it's probably not the title he selected, because he's talking about mainly a Pauline conception of God, so St. Paul's conception of God, and what he sees of that in Kafka's thought. And it's really interesting to note for those who are completely unaware of the intellectual relationship between Judaism and Christianity in the modern world, there's a lot of cross semination, I should say cross pollination between them, and it's very helpful and very good. There's also another great essay in here on Kafka, Gogol, and Nathaniel West, which I have thought of Gogol a few times when reading Kafka. And for instance, Gogol's kind of ridiculous story called The Nose has a lot in common with Metamorphosis, for instance. I love Gogol. I love him, but I hated his story The Nose. And I started thinking about, well, why do I like Metamorphosis and hate The Nose? Well, it's worth thinking about, worth revisiting. There's one on a comparison of Hemingway and Kafka, which is kind of cool in the sense of talking about the writing style, which is really interesting. The first couple of essays are the most general ones, and I say perhaps the most repetitive, but they're also maybe the ones you should read. If you're only going to read a couple of them, then read the first couple, because they're the most general and the most introductory. So I love this book. And one thing I'll say, of course, is that it's 50 years old. Okay, it was written in 62, I think, published in 62, of earlier essays, right? So some of these essays are really quite old. And to think that Kafka died in 1922, so it's outdated. This is an outdated book, but it's also, so it's not definitive or anything, but it's definitely still a good place to start. And I see that it's quoted or referenced, for instance, in the Wikipedia in the Wikipedia page on Kafka. So it's still got important essays in there, but it's not the final word by any means. But definitely a good introduction to Kafka. So I think that's all I want to say at this point. I love Kafka, and I'm going to keep reading, keep studying him. And the next thing I read will be his friend Max Brode's biography of Kafka. I have a copy downstairs, and I'll be making my way through it soonish. If you've noticed, I'm not wearing a hat. I usually wear a hat because I don't take care of my hair. I don't brush my hair or anything. So I cut it really short, and now I don't need to brush it, so I don't need to wear a hat. So in case you're wondering what's going on there. Anyway, have a great day, guys. I think I might do another short video today, and we'll talk to you soon. I hope everyone's having a great day. Bye now.